He drove 9 hours with the windows down, music up, thinking about his mom's cooking, his old bed, maybe even his dog greeting him at the door. But when he pulled into the driveway, something was wrong. The grass hadn't been cut. A bright red sold sign pierced the lawn like a warning. And cardboard boxes, his boxes sat soaking in the morning rain, right there on the curb. He thought it was a mistake. Maybe the neighbors were moving. Maybe he was dreaming. He walked to the front door, knocked. A stranger opened. Middle-aged woman, kind face. But when she looked at him, she had no idea who he was. She said, "Can I help you?" Help him. This was the house he grew up in. His bedroom was upstairs, third door on the left. This wasn't just a house. It was his history, his home, his family. Until today, his phone buzzed. A message from his father. "We moved. Your stuff's outside. Be an adult." That was it. No call, no warning, no explanation. His life dumped like trash. And when he called back, his dad declined. His mom sent him straight to voicemail. The home number disconnected. Tyler Grant was erased without a goodbye. And before you judge what he did next, understand this: some revenge isn't loud. It's quiet, precise, and it cuts deeper. Subscribe for stories that don't end with forgiveness. There was a time when Tyler believed his family was unbreakable. They weren't rich, but they had a small home in Springfield, Missouri. 3 bedrooms, a swing set in the backyard, a dented mailbox his dad refused to replace because it had character. His mom made pancakes every Sunday. His dad never missed a single school game. Every holiday, they'd string up lights, even if no one else on the block did. Tyler's room was on the second floor, right above the garage. Blue walls, a desk cluttered with comic books, and half-built model planes. His childhood lived there. It breathed in those walls. He never once doubted he was loved. Not when his mom kissed his forehead before school. Not when his dad taught him how to fix a leaky faucet. Not when the 3 of them sat together at dinner, laughing at nothing. They weren't loud with affection, but they showed up. They stayed. And that was everything. When he left for college, his mom cried at the airport. His dad hugged him tighter than usual, but didn't say much. Just 3 words: "We're proud, son." Tyler held on to that moment, that house, that feeling. He had no way of knowing that it would all vanish without warning, that the people he loved most would leave without saying goodbye. Not everyone gets a warning before the world turns cold. And Tyler, he got silence. Tyler Grant wasn't the kind of kid who broke the rules. He wasn't loud, wasn't reckless, didn't sneak out or skip class. He followed the blueprint: honor roll, part-time job at the campus library, held the door for strangers, called home every Sunday. He studied engineering because it made sense. He liked structure, logic, fixing broken things. He wanted to build, not just bridges or machines, but a future his parents could be proud of. Tyler believed in timelines. Graduate at 22, land a stable job, save up, move his parents into a nicer house, maybe somewhere warmer. He didn't drink much, didn't date around. He was careful, focused, grateful, because he knew what it took to give him that chance. He'd seen his dad come home with blistered hands, seen his mom work weekends to afford his textbooks. So he carried their hopes like a quiet weight. Never complained, never strayed. He thought that's what being a good son meant: being dependable, being responsible, being the kind of man who never gives his parents a reason to worry. So when everything fell apart, when they left without a word, when they cut him out like he was disposable, it didn't just hurt. It shattered the very identity he had spent his whole life building. Because Tyler didn't know how to be anything except their son. Looking back, the signs were there. Subtle, scattered, but real. His mom used to send care packages every few weeks. Cookies in Tupperware, sticky notes with little hearts. Sometimes a photo from home with "We miss you, love you." Then one day, they stopped. First the notes, then the cookies, then the boxes all together. He told himself she was busy, that maybe she was just trying to help him grow up. After all, independence is what college is for, right? His dad's calls grew shorter too. Used to ask about his classes, his friends, if he was sleeping enough. But somewhere around sophomore year, those calls became transactions. "How are your grades? Need money? Okay, good." That was it. "No, we're proud of you. No, we can't wait to see you. Just business. Even holidays changed. When he came home for Thanksgiving, their hugs felt stiff. Dinner was quieter, less laughter, more glances between his parents that Tyler didn't understand. During winter break, he caught his mom packing boxes in the basement. She said they were donating old clothes. He believed her, because why wouldn't he? Parents don't lie. Not about things like that. Not to their only son. Tyler didn't ask more questions, didn't push. He trusted. But trust can be dangerous when it's one-sided. And Tyler was about to learn what silence really means. Tyler left campus that morning with music blasting, windows down, sun on his face. He had three things on his mind: his mom's lasagna, catching up on sleep, and walking through the front door of the only home he'd ever known. It was supposed to be a weekend of comfort, nostalgia, family, but what he saw when he pulled into the driveway didn't make sense. The lawn was freshly cut, but it wasn't their mower marks. The flower pots on the porch gone, the mailbox replaced. Then he saw it. A bold red sign staked into the yard like a knife sold. At first he thought he had the wrong address, or maybe it was a prank, but the boxes on the curb told him otherwise. Cardboard, wet from the morning rain, taped sloppily like someone just wanted it done and gone. He stepped out of his car and walked to the front door. It used to creak. He knocked anyway. A stranger answered. Mid-50s, polite but confused. "Can I help you?" she asked. Tyler opened his mouth, but nothing came out, because this woman was standing in the foyer where he'd learned to tie his shoes. Her kids were playing upstairs in the room where he'd once taped posters to the wall. This wasn't his home anymore. And then his phone buzzed. One text from his father. "We moved. Your stuff's outside. Be an adult." No explanation, no emotion, just instructions. Just silence. Tyler stood there, in the rain, with his past packed into 6 soggy boxes. He didn't cry, not yet. Shock has a way of freezing emotion. He dialed his dad, straight to voicemail. He called again, declined. He tried his mom, once, twice, 3 times. No answer, no reply. He texted, "What's going on? Where are you? Is this a joke?" Nothing. He tried the house phone, the one they'd had for 20 years. Disconnected. It was as if they'd cut a cord clean and final. Gone. Erased. The new homeowners stepped outside. They looked confused. Concerned. "Do you need help? Are you okay?" Tyler nodded, even though he wasn't. Because how do you explain something like this? "Hi. My parents sold our house, forgot to mention it, and ghosted me completely." He loaded what was left of his life into the back of his Honda Civic. 2 boxes of clothes, 1 of books, his guitar, and a plastic tub with random things, trophies, loose photos, a crumpled poster from middle school, everything else gone. His bed, his desk, the photo albums his mom used to pull out every Christmas, vanished. He sat in the driver's seat, engine off, hands shaking, phone dark. For the first time in his life, Tyler had nowhere to go, nowhere to belong, not even a number to call. That night, Tyler parked behind a Walmart, turned off the engine, pulled his hoodie over his face, and tried to sleep. The car smelled like damp cardboard and old takeout. His pillow was a balled-up hoodie, his blanket just silence. He checked his phone 100 times. No missed calls, no messages, no apology. Morning came like a punch. Cold light, sore back, reality. He brushed his teeth in a gas station bathroom, washed his face with water that smelled like bleach, stared into a cracked mirror wondering, what did I do wrong? He called his high school friend Josh. No answer. He texted a girl he used to date just to talk. Left unread. By noon, he had eaten half a granola bar and cried once. Not out loud, just 1 tear. Then another, then none. By the end of the day, he found a local diner that hired dishwashers under the table. $7 an hour. Cash. He worked in silence. Didn't explain his situation. Didn't tell anyone he was homeless. Because saying it out loud made it too real. He used his first paycheck to rent a cheap room in a rundown house. Mattress on the floor, peeling paint, a flickering ceiling fan that buzzed like a reminder, you're not home. You're just surviving. Tyler didn't sleep much, didn't eat much, but every day he woke up, worked, and moved forward. because no one was coming to save him, and the people who should have, they chose to disappear. Some nights Tyler couldn't help but remember, not out of choice, but because the silence made the memories louder. He'd close his eyes and see his dad standing in the rain, holding a football, grinning, shouting again, until Tyler got the spiral just right. He remembered Sunday mornings his mom humming in the kitchen making pancakes in a worn skillet that had flipped 1,000 breakfasts. He remembered her handwriting, all loops and hearts, notes tucked into his lunch bag. Ace that test. Love you forever. He remembered movie nights on the living room floor, popcorn spilling dad snoring by the second act, laughter so real it made his stomach hurt. They used to sit on the porch in summer sipping lemonade, counting cars that passed. Nothing expensive, nothing fancy. Just presents, just love. But now, that porch had a new family. That kitchen was cooking someone else's memories. His mom's voice, once warm, was silent. His dad's smile, once strong, now felt like fiction. Tyler had spent 22 years building a sense of home. Every memory, every holiday, every hug, and it all ended with a text. The deeper the love, the sharper the betrayal. And Tyler wasn't just grieving a house. He was grieving the version of his parents he thought he knew. Tyler didn't spiral. He didn't drink, didn't scream at the sky, didn't post angry rants online. He folded his pain, tucked it deep like a note never meant to be read. He worked, double shifts dishes at night, warehouse on weekends. Woke up sore, went to bed numb. He stopped calling old friends, stopped texting anyone who hadn't reached out first, started keeping conversations short, polite, distant. He rented a basement room with no windows. The ceiling leaked when it rained. He used towels to soak it up, never once complained. Every paycheck he saved, every meal he counted, every breath he planned. Not for revenge, not yet. For control, because pain had taken everything. But discipline, that was his. He enrolled in summer courses, finished his degree early, graduated without fanfare, no family in the stands. Just a folded program in his back pocket and a jaw clenched tight. He didn't talk about the past, didn't say the word parents, didn't use the word home. He erased them the way they erased him. Not out of hate, but necessity. Because sometimes healing doesn't look like tears. It looks like silence, structure, cold, quiet rebuilding. And while the world moved on like nothing happened, Tyler was becoming someone they'd no longer recognize. It happened on a Tuesday. Tyler was walking home from work, same route, same hoodie, same silence. Then a voice called out, "Tyler, Tyler Grant." He turned. It was Liam, a name from the high school that hadn't crossed his mind in years. Still had the same crooked smile, but now wore a press badge and a messenger bag. They grabbed coffee at a rundown cafe 2 blocks over. Tyler didn't say much, didn't trust much, but Liam, he noticed. "You've changed, man. You used to laugh more." Tyler forced a smile. Life does that. Then Liam leaned in. "I never told you this, but I covered a foreclosure story last year. Your old house. Your dad sold it fast, like under pressure fast." Tyler froze. "What do you mean?" Liam pulled out his phone, showed an article headline, "Local contractor liquidates property amid alleged debt issues." Tyler's dad. In the photo, looking worn, tired, older. Liam continued. There were rumors, big debt, possible legal stuff, quiet deal. Then poof, they were gone. Tyler stared at the screen, his mind spinning. They hadn't just left. They'd run. The silence hadn't been passive. It was protective, calculated. Maybe this wasn't just abandonment. Maybe there was more. Tyler didn't know whether to feel angry or afraid of what he'd find next. But one thing was clear, his past wasn't done with him yet. Tyler didn't confront them, didn't send angry texts, didn't hire a lawyer. He did something quieter, sharper. He set up his camera, one lamp, one chair, a blank wall behind him. He sat down, took a deep breath, pressed record. "My name is Tyler Grant. I'm 24. 2 years ago, I came home from college and found my house sold. My life boxed up on the curb. My parents vanished. No warning, no goodbye. No yelling, no theatrics, just truth. Spoken slowly, clearly, deliberately." He talked for 5 minutes. About love, about betrayal, about what it feels like to be erased. Then he looked directly into the lens and said, "If you're watching this and someone's silence broke, you know this, you're not alone, and you didn't deserve it." He titled the video From Sun to Ghost, uploaded it. Anonymous account. No tags, no names. No need. It spread anyway. Quietly, organically. Hundreds of comments, thousands of views. People telling their own stories. People crying in the comments. Tyler didn't reply, didn't need to. 'Cause that video, it wasn't for them. It was for him. For the version of himself that needed to say it out loud once, then never again. That was his revenge. Not loud, not cruel, but permanent. It had been 2 years. 2 full years of silence. Of nothing. Then one afternoon his phone rang. Unknown number. Arizona area code. He almost declined, but some old reflex made him answer. Hello. A pause. Then a voice he hadn't heard in 730 days. Ryan, it's Mom. Her voice cracked on the second syllable. Tyler didn't say anything. Didn't know how. She continued, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. She was crying, shaking, words falling over themselves like she'd been holding them for too long. Your dad, he's sick. He has ALS. We moved here for treatment. Sold the house to pay for care. He didn't want you to know. Tyler's grip tightened on the phone. What do you mean didn't want me to know? He thought it would ruin your life, that you'd drop out, that you'd spend your 20s watching him die. Tyler sat down, legs suddenly weak. So you just disappeared. He made me promise. He was scared. We were both scared, and now he wants to see you. Her voice was barely above a whisper. Please, come before it's too late. He doesn't have much time left. The silence on Tyler's end was longer than she could bear. I never stopped loving you, she said. Then the line went quiet again. But this time, Tyler couldn't hang up. Tyler flew to Phoenix the next day. Didn't tell anyone. Didn't pack much. Just a jacket, a notebook, and every question he'd buried. The apartment was small, quiet, furnished with pieces from their old house, the same couch, the same coffee table. Familiar, but foreign. His father looked like a ghost of the man he remembered. Sunken cheeks, shaking hands, eyes full of weight. But when Tyler walked in, he smiled. You came. Tyler didn't answer, just stared. They talked, slow, careful. Hours passed like minutes. Then his mom brought out a box, worn, taped at the edges. Inside, handwritten letters, dozens, all addressed to Tyler, dated from the day they left, one for every week, every holiday, every missed moment. He picked one at random. Dear son, today your mom made pancakes. She almost cried when she flipped the first one. I told her you'd be fine, that you're stronger than we are. Tyler kept reading until the pages blurred. Then the insurance agent arrived. His mom handed him another envelope, a life insurance policy, 20 years old, with Tyler listed as sole beneficiary, $300, 000, updated 2 years ago, right after the move. A handwritten note attached. This won't fix what I broke, but maybe it can help you build what I never could. Tyler sat there, letters in his lap, the weight of 2 years collapsing in his chest. His father hadn't forgotten him. He'd just loved him the wrong way. That night they sat on the balcony. The Arizona heat had softened, but the air still felt heavy, thick, with everything unsaid. His dad looked out at the streetlights, eyes tired, voice barely a whisper. I thought I was protecting you. Tyler stayed quiet. When the doctor said ALS, I saw everything slipping. My body, my time, and worst of all, your future. A long pause. I thought if we disappeared, you'd stay focused. You'd succeed. You'd never have to carry me. Tyler looked at him, eyes locked. You took away my choice. His father nodded. Tears welled. I know. And I've regretted it every single day. But I didn't know how to be sick. Didn't know how to be weak in front of my son. The silence between them wasn't cold anymore. It was bruised, but open. His dad reached out, hands trembling, eyes pleading. I'm sorry, Tyler, for all of it. If I could go back, I would have let you in. Tyler didn't say it's okay, because it wasn't. It would never fully be. But he said the only truth that felt right. I'm here now, and that was enough. not to erase the pain, but to begin again. Because sometimes real revenge isn't payback. It's letting the wound stay open so the other person feels it too. Tyler stayed for 3 months. He sat by his father's bedside, held his hand during the worst days, listened to stories about a past he never knew, and a man he was only now starting to understand. He didn't forget the pain, didn't erase the anger, but he made space for grief and connection, for damage and rebuilding. His father passed away in late spring. It wasn't peaceful, but it wasn't alone. And in that tiny Phoenix apartment with the hum of an old air conditioner and the scent of hospital wipes lingering in the air, Tyler realized something. Some stories don't end with justice. They end with choice. He could have walked away, could have stayed cold, let his father die thinking his silence had won. But Tyler chose to show up, to bear witness, to make sure the man who'd once been his hero didn't leave this world believing he was only a mistake. Because sometimes the real revenge is to not become what broke you. And sometimes forgiveness isn't a gift to the other person. It's a decision to stop carrying what they handed you. Tyler never got an apology wrapped in a bow, but he got truth, tears, regret. And for him, that was enough. Tyler never told many people what happened. Most of them just saw a quiet guy got his degree, got a job, moved on. But the truth, he never really moved on. He rebuilt. He adapted. He carried the weight differently. And that's what people don't see. Not all revenge is fire. Sometimes it's ice. Sometimes it's waking up and choosing not to call. Not to chase. Not to let the wound define you. Sometimes revenge is silence, the kind that echoes. And forgiveness. It's not about saying it's okay. It's about saying it doesn't control me anymore. So if you've ever been left behind, if someone you trusted disappeared without explanation, if you've stood outside a door that no longer opened for you, you're not alone. Tyler's story isn't unique. It's just unspoken. Until now. If this hits something in you, something you didn't know was still there, you're exactly who this story was for. Have you ever had to forgive someone who didn't deserve it? Have you ever had to rebuild from silence? Tell your story, because someone out there needs to know they're not alone either. And if you felt this, subscribe. Not for the algorithm, but for the next person who needs to hear what no one else will say out loud.